Hey! Happy Tuesday, everybody! Welcome back to another episode of Delve Requisite right here on Proficiency Bonus. Before we get into tonight's episode, let us get through our housekeeping business with lightning speed so that we can get to the drama that is about to unfold. Before we begin, let's thank some sponsors. Little Dragon Corp and Cardboard Castle Games, as always, sponsoring us here at Proficiency Bonus. Little Dragon Corp is a Canadian-based dice company that sells dice. If you didn't guess from the description of them as a dice-based company, you can use our code PROBONUS at checkout if you decide to order anything from their website to get 10% off of your order. They sell all sorts of fun, multicolored, fantastical, famous for my, they're not super invisible today, but these are my fun green screen dice that appear invisible. If you too would like a pair of Little Dragon Corp dice, go to their website by typing !Little Dragon in chat at any point during tonight's stream to get a link to that website. And don't forget, use our code PROBONUS at checkout for 10% off your order. And of course, Little Dragon Corp. Nope, we already did them. And of course, Cardboard Castle Games! CGC! CCG! Man, off to a rough start tonight, folks. CCG! Jesus. Well, it was a nice few years that we had them as a sponsor, but that was it. If you listen really closely, you can hear the sound of the buzzer going off that marks the final straw for times that I said their promo code incorrectly, and they have dropped us as a sponsor. Cardboard Castle Games, a brick and mortar tabletop gaming and RPG store located here in the United States in Evans, Georgia. If you are not located in Evans, Georgia, fear not. They have a robust online website where you can purchase all of your tabletop gaming needs. Check them out. Cardboard Castle Games. Okay. So, I am going to do something different tonight. And it isn't because I'm messing with things in the background. But it's something I've been thinking about periodically, and it's something that I thought might be fun to incorporate going forward. And what better way to do that than to not prep anybody and just spring it on them live on the internet? I'm not going to do the recap. I would like Brittany to do the recap for us.
Oh, thank God!
No!
Yeah!
I thought he was going to make me do it, and I was just going to have to go
But
home.
I didn't write it up all pretty. It's all scattered through like 5 pages of notes. Okay,
That's
hold
okay. Just do it from your
you.
heart.
My
It'd be a
heart.
collaborative effort.
My panic-stricken heart right now is you're making me do things. Okay. I can't even like talk as nicely as you. Okay. So previously on Delve Requisite with the crew of the Grimm's Folly, the party was split between Rowan, Nimue, and Scylla on Naporia, and Murderbeard and Thyxis on Glassau. The 3 female members of the party were a little bit all over the place as they were handling different things on the island, and we ended up, after some ridiculous fighting of fire imps and trying to make things a little bit better on Naporia for everybody, while Nimue continued to, reconcile with her father, and Scylla fixed the land. The boys were off having a boys' weekend, and, Captain Frederick's lone crewmate that made it out of a sticky situation with the Ignian armada arrived on Glassau, and after failing a vibe check from Thyxis, was proven to still be truthful in his telling of the fact that the Ignians had cornered Captain Frederick and the Jewel, and they were given an option to either lead the Ignians into Glassau under a ruse, or be killed and have their bodies tied to the front of the ship. As a result, Frederick sent his one crewmate, Lincoln Estes, to warn Glassau, and upon hearing this, Rowan and Nimue and Scylla received a message from Murderbeard telling them to get their butts over there and help fight the Ignian Armada. I believe that is where we left off, with both groups getting ready to converge a little bit north to fight on behalf of Captain Frederick and defend Pirate Island, thus giving the Pirate Island time to evacuate. Don't ever do that to me again, sir.
I do that every week to you from now on.
hate
I don't
you.
know what you thought that was.
Yeah, that was
You
awesome.
this is an idea that's only gonna bite me in the ass, but you should like roll the d6 every week and see who has to do it.
See who does it.
No, absolutely not. I refuse. Not happening.
I hate all of you.
I'll do it. I'll be real bad at it, but I'll do it.
Brittany, you did awesome. That
I'm
was
gonna start writing a recap.
you did a super good recap because I didn't remember anything I did last time, and you just
I
you
only
just
remember
reminded me.
5 check because I laughed really, really hard.
I
Really
check.
watching some notes.
But failed.
Yeah, don't ever do. I'm gonna start writing a recap every week. Because if you're gonna do this to me,
Was the banana a planned
Yeah.
prop?
Was it
or
just so
just
you
a
can
coincidence?
Yeah, I did have a banana.
like-
I did have a banana bit planned during Brittany's recap.
Rowan flips table and walks off.
I don't know. I was like prepping for session. I was like, it'd be really funny if I just like sprung a recap on Brittany and then ate a banana the entire time she was doing the recap in silence.
Shit.
What would have been even funnier is if you had a whole bunch of bananas and like you just kept like.
I'm not gonna lie.
Shoving
I
bananas
did get like to the end of that first banana and was like,
Could've
damn
had a
it, I
second
wish I
banana.
had brought several so that I could have finished this one and then just silently opened another banana.
It'd be great if you
I
kind of
would've
like had them hidden like down below, so you could just be like,
Yeah.
all of a sudden another banana appears.
Another one comes up.
I then would have had to watch you banana throw up live on screen. So.
Well done,
No.
Brittany. Well done. Holy shit.
Oh, I hate you all.
Not
really.
That is where we have left off with our story. So we are going to. I'm actually going to zoom in on the map here, and let's do this. One member from each party, or each half of the party. Why don't y'all each roll me a d20, and whoever rolls higher, that is who we will start with tonight.
Oh my god, guys, can I roll and roll my new dispel dice? My sunken treasure?
Yeah.
Hee hee hee. Oh! 13.
13. Okay.
Make Michael roll. Oh, yeah, he rolled super low.
A 9.
A 9. Okay.
No.
Uh,
That's a high roll for me, though.
That's a decent roll. That's a decent Michael roll.
That's like a crit for
Great.
Thixes.
I would take it.
Great
I
on
would
last
take
week's
it.
delve. He would have done great on last week's delve when 2s were 20s.
Oh yeah, for those of you who did not join us last week, in honor of Tuesday, because it was 2/22/22, we decided that 2s were crits.
That's amazing. I love that.
Yeah, I was
It
listening.
led-
that was a fun idea.
It led
It
to
worked sometimes.
some absolute shenanigans.
I love
So,
that. I love that.
ladies, females,
Don't say females.
females.
Don't say females. I'll leave this room right now.
The I don't what we have to come up with like names for the when you
Pirates?
guys like split off
Gals.
into
Gal pals.
the
Just
gal
gals.
pals. So that's
Gal
your like
pals.
that's your like team name when you guys are like
Gal
having like the all ladies episode. It's like the gal pals.
Well, no, we named
We'll think about it.
Listen, we'll
get you a-
workshop
we'll
it.
get you a proper-
We'll workshop it. For now, Gal Pals works, but we'll workshop it.
Okay, all right, gal pals.
And
yeah.
then we're just what, Macbeth and the Murder Beards, right? It's like a
In
band
my
name,
head, you
yeah.
guys have been
Team
boy
Hornets.
stripped the whole time.
You're now the dumpster fire.
You just
Oh,
voice
yeah.
strip.
Yeah, boy.
No, wait, okay, guys, but what if the group of girls is Trinity Riot? Because that's what we were gonna.
Mm.
All right, so we will start on Naporia with Trinity Riot. I like it. It is. Let's say we have kind of like skipped over the sort of night of, at least for you guys, the night of like running around making preparations to leave. You know, Nimue, we left off like fairly late in the evening. You went to your father and were like, can you get us another ship, please?
Please.
And he was like, yes.
No.
So we'll skip over that, and we can rejoin you guys in the morning, where you know that the whatever ship they have like dug up for you guys is going to be like being prepared for you, and you guys will be like ready to set sail. So we will start there as you guys like wake up from your whatever quality of sleep it is you may or may not have gotten last night, and the morning is yours on the island of Naporia.
Did Murderbeard ever fully explain what exactly is happening? Or did he just give us coordinates?
I did not,
believe
because we were
the,
limited
like-
by how many spells.
Yeah,
we
I
could
believe the
send.
extent of your current knowledge is that, like, there is some shit going down with the Ignians.
Mm-hmm.
The pirates have, like, had it up and are sailing out, and you have a set of, like, nautical coordinates.
Nautical coordinates.
That is
okay.
the extent of your information.
Alright, yeah, girls. Do we need more information? It's new dawn, so I can send more messages. Nah.
I don't
Wing it?
think we'll need anything before we leave. I mean, we really just kind of get there and join up with the fight.
Alright. Are we literally fighting the entire armada, though? Like, is that what we're doing?
We'll find out? Yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to send Murderbeard a message this morning and hope that he's awake.
Pick you up,
You up?
wakey face.
Hey, boys. Are we fighting the whole armada? Like, what's the deal? What are we doing? End the message. You can respond to this message.
You pooping?
You poopin'? Lee. Puppy.
Did we? How many? The guy said there was an accurate, he gave a fairly accurate number of ships, right?
It is not the entire armada. It is like a bunch of ships that have been broken off and are being sent in your direction. I don't know what that was.
Christy started.
Oh.
How many words do we get?
25.
Not whole fleet. Only part of fleet. Less than 10? Is that accurate? Can I send a question mark over this thing? Less than 10 question mark?
Less than 10?
10?
Shrug emoji.
Shrug emoji. Is that one word? Okay, so like, not the whole armada, just less than 10, probably, maybe. He doesn't seem very
Fingers
sure.
crossed emoji.
Yeah,
He doesn't seem very sure. It sounds like a question.
From Captain Frederick's like messenger, you guys know like the odds are not great. Like they did send like the group that is on their way here is intended to like wipe the pirates off of Glassau and like essentially take control of the island.
Oh boy.
Do I have 4 words left on that spell? What were we at?
Maybe. Sure. You have
Uh,
four.
I-
No,
I
you
will
have
add-
like 7 left.
Okay, I will add enough to fuck Glassau.
There you go.
That works too. I will relay that to the girls.
So the odds are not great in your favor,
Right.
from him, but it's not like you to sail into like 200 ships would be like fully suicide. This is more like dire peril
Uh-huh.
type
Okay.
of situation.
Is there anything else we need to do here today? We should probably leave early, huh?
We should get going sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I don't.
I told
know.
Dad to take care of the twins, so that he's going to babysit while we're away. Is there anything else I'm forgetting? Oh, wait! The orcs, or whatever.
Oh yeah, they wanted to fight everybody.
Oh,
They're with,
no.
they're
Oh,
with the
no.
Grimm's Folly, I believe.
No, they're here.
No, they stayed
No,
because
they were
yeah.
trying to
would
fight-
be dishonored.
They
Oh,
were
man,
trying
I
to
messed
fight
that- I
everybody.
messed that up. I had marked down that they were on the Grimm's Folly.
No, most of the Grimm's Folly crew went with us.
Yeah, they didn't want to be
Orcs and
mutinied
some
on
others
sea.
did.
Interesting.
They they left on Naporia.
My notes were incorrect. All right, so the orcs are here. Yes, the orcs are here.
That's why I was like, oh shit.
We will deal with
Oh. I guess that's Dad's problem too. He's like the leader of like the Marshal and the Sword and the Lunar Warriors, so I should probably give him the heads up on them. And then we can go?
Do we want to try to make them come with us for a fight to prove themselves across the ocean?
Oh, that's a pretty good idea.
Another
mean,
opportunity to
against
punish the people
Ignians
who.
that- Yes.
Mm.
Like, I think proving yourself in Naporia is one realm of honor. Getting revenge against the people who enslaved your entire group and potentially thus hastened the death of the people you left at home because you couldn't return to help them.
Yeah,
I wonder if that revenge honor is a bit more than
taking the Naporia for their own-
general. Well, not even. I don't even think they were trying to take it. I think they just wanted to fight to prove that they were stronger.
Yeah, that's right. They wanted.
So
to
I
fight
think
like
maybe
whatever.
like, you know, in realms of honor, maybe it's one's better than the other because it's avenging what was done to you.
Yeah, I'll bring it up with the leader. I forget his name already.
Macraw?
Brawl.
Crawl. I'll bring it up with
I
Macraw.
remember the name for once.
GG. Yeah, maybe we check in with them if we're gonna be loading up the boat and getting out ready this morning. So let's go find them and then go to the boat. Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty. So you guys kind of like exit your place that you have been staying, and you know, the group of you that have stayed here, so like yourselves, orcs, the bookkeeper's emissary that you know that is here with you, Aoragashta. You guys are all kind of like in a cluster of like buildings, sort of near the docks ish that they have like put you up in. So it does not take long for you to kind of like spread the word. Macraw is easy enough to find to pass the message of like, hey, we're gonna like.
So he passes the message to his crew and see if he gets a positive reception from
Yeah,
them.
you kind of like you're
I
able
don't
to
wanna
talk to him, and he's like, I will discuss it with them.
Alright, let me know. I will
he'll-
be at the docks prepping to leave. So if you guys want to come, you're welcome to join.
He nods and he says, our word was given that we would travel with you, and that you would eventually see us back to where we could make for our home.
Absolutely. And we're coming back. Like, we're not going to leave you here. If you choose to stay.
He nods and he says, no. He says, you misunderstand. We are honor bound to stay with you, whatever you endeavor. He kind of like nods towards where you know the other orcs are kind of like in their little camp area, and he says, making some of the others see this will be challenging. I will meet you down at the docks before you are to depart.
If anyone can do it, it's you.
He just turns head.
Yep, have fun. Not a problem. Bye.
So you guys are generally like heading for the docks. And you have
Yeah, help prep any last minute things.
Okay.
And I guess just wait for McCrawl and his crew. Hopefully, they'll join us because it's a really good idea.
Alrighty. So the three of you guys. The three of you guys are all heading down to the docks.
Yeah.
Okay. So you do that, and as you guys head down there, Nimwe's father is there as you guys arrive. He is discussing something with an individual who, as you guys like approach, he kind of like nods to and sort of gestures him down. You hear him say like, "Go now, make the final preparations." And then the individual kind of turns and runs off down the docks a little ways. As Ray kind of turns to you guys as you can approach, you see that he has kind of like dark circles under his eyes. It looks like he's been probably up the duration of this evening, like making these preparations and kind of getting this in order. So you can see kind of in sort of his eyes and the kind of like he's got a little bit of that like kind of like waxy pallor to his skin that you get when you get like somebody's like kind of overtired. But his posture is like perfectly straight and upright. Like you see really no evidence of it in his demeanor or his stance as you guys approach. He kind of gives you guys a slight bow. And he says, "Good morning. I trust that the three of you slept well and are prepared for your journey."
We are. Make sure you get that rest the same when we leave.
He like almost smiles. You like the muscles at the corner of his mouth twitch in like you can see like it almost made a smile, and he says, "I find that generally I sleep more hours in the night when you are not on the island."
Wow. The disrespect, father. Wow. Fine. Well done.
He says,
"Thank you. Truly. I can see you've done a lot."
He nods and he says, "Indeed, I have. Call it a gift for you. On behalf of a wayward Luna warrior who you saw fit to bring home." And he gestures to the three of you to follow him and turns and heads in the direction that individual that he was talking to ran down the docks. He leads you guys a ways, like a handful of jetties down this set of docks, and eventually he brings you, amidst all of the fishing boats and and various like vessels that are commonplace in Naporia's port here. He brings you to a ship that is narrower, sleeker, and the like traditional colorings and like paintings and markings of like the Naporian nation have been stripped from it, leaving it just like a bare wooden vessel. It is still Naporian in design, sort of the angles and the architecture of it, but it has been sort of like obfuscated a little bit. It doesn't necessarily look like it was. It's not a fishing vessel. It looks like it may have been like a, almost like a long ship, like a voyaging vessel. Designed for designed for like ranging and like exploring
Moana
around,
vibes.
things like that. Yeah, Moana vibes.
Hell yeah.
He says, "The elders and I procured this vessel from its previous owner. I have had workers all night preparing it. He says,
Incredible.
he says, in lieu of you continually needing to borrow fishing vessels from people who otherwise need them to go about their lives, we have secured this. He says,
Sorry, that's a passive aggression in that
yeah, it's very like. I mean, you know your
Stop
father
being
well enough to know that, like, even though it sounds like super passive aggressive, like, you know your father well enough to know in his mind, like, that's not how necessarily how he operates. It's not how he thinks.
No, this is a huge gesture
like,
for him.
This is that, and it's also like it's literally like calculus for him of like,
yeah, makes
of, like,
more sense.
This is the most sensible way to have approached this. He says the vessel has been stripped down to reduce or obfuscate its identifiable nature as a vessel of Naporia. It has been outfitted with the best set of sails that we had in the village of Kazumo, I think was one of them. He says it is light, not designed for the type of seafaring skirmishing that you have been accustomed to with your gestures towards the two of them, your new crew. But it is fast and will get you where you need to go.
That's what we need.
He nods and he says, it is also yours to keep.
Awesome. Really?
He nods and he says, the previous owner had named it the Hashibi, but we have, and he kind of, like, you can see where, like, the paint has been sort of stripped away. He says, I believe it is on you to rechristen it, as the coming events will potentially make returning it here difficult.
That's true. I'm gonna just give him a deep bow. I'm gonna save him the embarrassment of hugging him in front of everybody. Because, like, I think she, like, takes a step forward and is like, no, I'll bow. I'm thankful. Grateful, really. Truly.
He kind of nods and he says, it is the most logical course of action.
Of course.
He kind of, like, you see in the set of his jaw, as he says, the Ignian Empire is planning something that will have ramifications across all of the 5 kingdoms, as well as the small nations like our own. For better or for worse, you and your new friends are embroiled in it. And despite our desires to remain neutral from such things, it seems so are our people.
At this point, it's impossible now.
He nods. He says, it is impossible to stay entirely out of things. But it is my duty, as well as the other elders of the island, to ensure that no harm unnecessarily fall to the people of Naporia. We will support you, and we will stand against the Empire in our way, but a direct conflict is impossible.
I know that.
So he gestures, he says, so this ship, it is yours. We have done what we can to obfuscate its origins as a Naporian vessel. And from henceforth, it will not be one. It will be a pirate ship.
The way he, like, struggled with that. Don't worry, I'll make sure it looks good, though. And we'll think of a really cool name.
He nods and he says, very well. I will hold you no longer. Your business is urgent. At this point, you guys hear the heavy thudding footfalls of a cadre of orcs approaching down the docks. As you guys approach, you turn, you look. They're moving kind of in a cluster. You see that Mokral is actually not at the head of this group that's approaching. He is, as you kind of glance, he's actually behind them by about 5-10 paces. He has a sort of a grim expression on his face. The orc that is at the lead of this group is the orc that you guys will remember was the instigating individual in that confrontation with Mokral the other day. The orc Gugnak.
Gugnak.
He is in the lead as he approaches, and his chest is puffed out, his arms are back, his jaw is he's slid his jaw forward to make his tusks more prominent. He kind of walks forward and comes to a stop.
I'm going to mimic my father's body posture.
Okay.
She doesn't do it very often, but she knows how to imitate him, so she's gonna do that and step forward you wanna go? Let's go!
Ray very much is he's not really sure what is up here, but he's just observing all of this. Go ahead, Nimue, Rowan, and Sela, make me a perception check.
Naporia die.
17.
Okay.
16.
Okay.
22.
Ooh.
Okay, very good from all of you. So all of you are able to discern this as you guys... That should have been an insight check rather than a perception check. That's okay.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Don't worry about it. Those are all good enough. You guys know, so as you see the orcs approach, Gugnak is, puffed out, very, very aggressive stance. There are a handful of orcs who you see kind of flanking him. And you guys have traveled with these guys enough now. So you kind of know, you're a little familiar with some of them. So, flanking him on either side is Varagog, Kodar, and sort of in their cluster is an orc that you know is named Lum. And this sort of group of them are kind of you see them together, and Varagog, Kodar, and Lum are definitely following Gugnak's lead. The other orcs in the group, Korkug, Shirkul, and Shirkul. There are 2 orcs named Shirkul in this group.
You need to give me these spellings, please.
I can send them to you.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shirkul and Shirkul too. Brothers, in fact.
Aww.
Both named Shirkul. They're in the group, but you can tell by their body language that they're much more just watching to see how things play out. You catch some glances back in the direction of Mokral to see what he's doing, what he thinks of this. And this group of orcs stumps up. And in Orcish, Gugnak kind of grunts out. And he says, "Our chieftain wishes us to leave this island without testing ourselves." And he spits a huge gross loogie on the deck at his feet. And Mokral, as they come to a stop, maybe 15 or so feet from where the 4 of you are standing, Mokral kind of lopes around the group of them to sort of he's sort of between you, but kind of off to the side a little bit. He comes forward and he says to you, Nimue, he says, "I explained to them the situation. They are insisting on being idiots."
In Orcish, I will say, "Did you forget who saved your asses from the prisons of slave trade?" Did you forget you are honor bound to us?
Gugnak, at being called an idiot, Gugnak goes like at Mokral, but he turns to you, and he says, "We are honored by your saving of us from the slave markets.
Are you?
But this," and he gestures at like Naporia, and he gestures at your father. He says, "This is an opportunity. The spirits present a chance for us to challenge our Rochloch against one of this status. To leave would be to dishonor ourselves."
I'm side-eyeing Nimue.
Your father is like... And he kind of like mutters, he says...
I will quickly translate for everybody
Yeah,
behind me.
none of us. What's going on?
Yeah, I will quickly translate for everybody behind me what the hell his problem is.
Do you want me to, like, turn into a giant octopus and put all of them on the ship?
I could also
That's
just...
what having 8 arms is for.
I could also, we could just kick their butts and...
They
That's
want
right.
to fight a lunar warrior. They want to test their spirit is the best. I don't know their translation. Even in Orcish, it's a hard...
Oh, yeah, your whole audio just cut out.
Okay, there you are.
There you are.
One second. I'm not actually here. Hang on. I think no. Yes? Okay.
These shitheads. Ugh. Oh, what do I do? Can I, like... I don't think I really have a choice. Alright, I will say in Orcish. Well, if you're that keen on keeping that and not dishonoring me, I will fight you. I am a lunar warrior. Me and you one-on-one. Huh? Then will you calm your shit?
Gugnak goes, he looks at you, he kind of, looks at your father. Make a persuasion check.
Oh, fuck. I'm not good at that. That boy's not charismatic. Oh, natural 20! That's my Bubbles die. Thank you,
They
Bubbles.
just contacted all of the dolphins.
Every dog in Canada is like, oh, God.
Sorry.
Gugnak looks at kind of you. He sort of looks to your father.
I step in front of him when he looks at my dad. Me.
He says, "Very well. You will be an acceptable start."
Wow,
points,
rude.
he says, "When I am through with you, I wish to test my Rocha against this one, the Elder." And your father kind of quirks and just raises an eyebrow. The orc.
Nimue almost says that would be a mistake, but she doesn't want to encourage him by saying my father would kick your ass. So she's just keeping her mouth shut, and she's like, me. All right.
Mokral takes a step forward as you guys settle this, and he turns towards his orcs, and he lets in a big breath, and then lets out this just roar, this this deep guttural chest just bellow, and he says,
You have dishonored yourselves by disobeying your chieftain. And now it is to be one-on-one combat between one of us and Nimue. He says, agree to these terms.
He points. He says,
should the Lunar Warrior fail this headstrong Pokruch, the rest of you fall in line.
And the other orcs, like, and several of them, like, beat their chests. And Mokral turns Nimue to you, and he nods. And he says,
my orcs agree. If you best Gugnak, they will do as commanded.
I kind of turn to the girls. Well, it's a good thing that we have a couple days to get there, because I'm probably going to get my ass kicked a little bit, and I'm probably going to be a little sore and sleep all day, but maybe we can fix this.
We can heal you, it's fine.
Yeah, I'll be fine. That's fine.
So, as you guys are, like, kind of, like, talking this, Gugnak goes, like,
enough talk!
Cracks his neck in two directions, like, rolls his shoulders, and he steps forward, unarmed, actually, in fact. Doesn't have any type of weapon on him, doesn't seem to go for one. He just steps forward and, like...
Yeah, I can't do that because I am not strong. I need my weapon. I don't give a fuck. There was no turn
yeah,
set.
That's fine. He doesn't seem to be opposed to you using your weapon.
Yeah, I kind of pull up my naginata and I kind of turn to my father. Dad, can you just clear the area a little bit? I'm gonna be doing some jumping and I don't want to hurt anybody.
He kind of looks at you and looks at the orcs and he says, he sort of takes several steps back and he turns and kind of lifts a hand, and that is enough that, like, these sort of, like, Naporians in the area kind of, like, turn and look, and he just gestures everybody to, like, back off, and pretty quickly, like, a wide sort of circle forms around you and Gugnak as you guys face off against one another. And as the two of... Oh, go ahead.
Real quick note, I'll nod at Nimue, and I'm gonna go to, like, one of the opposite sides of the circle. Like, okay. I'm putting myself kind of like if this is like a fighting circle, I'm putting myself opposite side of, like, where Scylla and Nimue are, just so I can keep an eye on things from that side and make sure none of these other idiots do anything. And just kind of, like, spreading out her support system almost. Like, yeah.
Okay.
I'll purposely stand between two of the big idiots that were with Gugnak. Sure. Like, I push them aside, like, my armor, and like, I'm like, this is my spot now.
No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't go to, like, resist you too much. They just are watching. All right. So as Nimue and Gugnak begin to like square off against each other, we will shift scenes and head back over to Glassau, and we'll actually reverse course in time a little bit, because I want to give you guys the opportunity just where I sort of fast forwarded the Trinity riot to the morning. I'm gonna pick you guys up the previous night. Shortly, this is after, like, you guys this scene on the dock that we had. You guys kind of discussed everything with the various pirate captains, and everybody has, like, dispersed now to go make preparations on their various ships. Blackwell has gone off to start to, like, prepare the evacuation of the any like pirate affiliated folk that want to, like, leave here to pack up whatever's needed and go. So the island is like an absolute madhouse of activity right now. But we will pick up with the two of you here as that is kind of underway. give you the opportunity to do anything. And then we'll say this is like kind of shortly after your discussion with the herbalist here on the island. So if there's like anything else you guys need some time to do before the morning when you set out, you guys can take that opportunity. If you're done, if you have nothing else, just like that's fine. We'll fast forward from there.
I think Vixus would want to probably wait till he had a moment just to talk to Murderbeard without, you know, anybody else around, kind of craziness, probably before the evening ended or whatever. Captain, how long have you known Captain Frederick?
How long have I known Captain Frederick?
You don't really know him that well. You know that like he's younger than Captain Hotspur was, so like he was not around when you were younger. But he has been operating as a free captain, as a pirate for the last probably 15 or so years. You've really never interacted with him, one-on-one. You don't have any experience like doing any sort of like anything really with him and his crew. You just sort of like know him in passing as a prominent pirate in the in the region, and one of the consortium here that has helped keep Glassau supplied and thriving for the last decade or so. Other than that, it's really just by reputation that you know him more than personally.
Well, I don't know him very well, but I've at least known of him for about 10, 15 years. Not someone I've often had dealings with.
What do you think his price is? Do you think the Empire is going to persuade him in any way?
Frederick is the captain that got left behind, right?
That got left behind. What do you mean?
The captain who,
For some reason,
was ambushed.
Captain Charles.
Okay,
Captain Charles.
I was making. That's what I thought, but I
captain of the Jewel. You can make a history check actually if you'd like in this instance.
Sure, my history is terrible, but I'll do it anyway. History is a -1. It's a 1 because I rolled the 2.
You know that Captain Frederick is from the Empire.
Guy.
He's a guy.
That's, I think that came up last time somewhere in conversation. I remember hearing like a nugget. I remember hearing a nugget from somebody said that he was former Empire.
Not former Empire. He's not like part of the Ignian Navy or anything like that.
Oh, okay,
okay. He is from the Empire.
He's from there.
That is his kingdom of origin.
Okay, got it. Okay.
With that one, that's the only information I'm going to give you.
I can't know that I rightly can say. I know he's originally from the Empire, but that often means that those folks have more hate for the Empire than anyone else.
I didn't think of it that way. I guess I was just trying to remember some of the things you taught me and to not trust anything or anyone. And I'm definitely not trusting this, that's for sure.
Yes. A good assumption, but my guess would be that a good captain will probably die rather than submit to the Empire.
I hope you're right, but do me a favor, Captain. Don't turn your back on him, okay?
If we even get a chance to see him again,
I have a hunch we will. Guess we better rest up.
Suppose.
Maybe.
Well, we were supposed to go see Willow.
Oh, that was right.
About that. Especially if there's going to be an invasion and the island is going to have to be evacuated. That's going to have to be explained to her.
Well, by all means, lead the way, Captain.
Right. Well, lead the way to the abandoned manor.
You head up to that manor. Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys make your way through the bustling streets of the town of Glassau on the island of Glassau, and head up and scale the hill that leads up to the old manor house that sits looking over the town proper. As you guys get there, what are your passive perceptions?
Oh, not great.
11.
12.
That's actually okay. The 11 and the 12, the 10 was the mark, so that's fine. You guys hear something as you approach the manor. You hear from somewhere like inside the building. You hear, Willow, you have to come out. I need to talk to you. That's important, Willow. Murderbeard, you instantly recognize the voice of your daughter.
Do I see her, or at least can I tell where the voice is coming from?
You know that she is inside, and it sounds like she's probably upstairs in that room where there was, the mantelpiece that had, a bunch of little knickknacks, arranged very carefully on it.
Okay. I'm going to enter the house, and when I open the front door, I'm going to, I can't physically do it, but, give a specific whistle that sounds like a bird, a specific bird that is, Una and I's signal of, it's one of us.
Okay.
So that she doesn't think, people are showing up.
Okay, so you give that whistle, and you kind of hear from upstairs. You're just like, Willow, come on, I know, but you've got to... and you hear footsteps, and from the top of the sort of staircase, Una appears. And she kind of, looks down where you and Thixis have entered. And she says... You ought to have guessed that you'd be here, Father. She says, I'm trying to call her out, but I don't even know if she's in earshot. I've got no idea whatever internal passageways and whatever's beneath this blasted manor house. I've never found my way in, and I've got no idea how extensive it is. She could be bloody miles from here for all I know. She's not answering me.
I'll make my way upstairs.
Okay.
And into the room that Una was in, that we've experienced.
Okay. So you see, you head up there. Una kind of comes back with you. Thixis, you come with him?
This is gonna just tap Captain on his shoulder and just kind of let him go with Una upstairs, and Thixis is gonna go back to that grate in the basement.
Interesting. Okay.
Just to look around.
So Murderbeard, you go upstairs. Refresh my memory, as it'll take me longer to go back in my notes. You guys gave Una a couple of gifts the last time you were here. Murderbeard, you gave her a violin. I remember that. But I believe Nimue gave her a trinket as well. Do we know what that trinket was?
I think it was a scarf, but let me check. There's something about a scarf at one point.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't. I know I gave Murderbeard to give her something. Right?
Yeah, but we're talking about originally.
Oh,
when we first
originally.
met. I think you could. Yeah, a scarf sounds right to me.
A scarf does sound right to me.
I'm almost to the spot if we want to hold for a second.
And I don't think we specified what Nimue gave Murderbeard this time.
No, you gave her a rainbow scarf. You did give her a rainbow scarf.
So,
Yeah.
Murderbeard, you follow Una back up to the.
I gave you a Naporeon emblem.
This
Class.
time, yes. That's. I'm curious about.
Yeah.
that.
I was just refreshing. Yep.
You head back up to that room, and it's kind of a sitting room. It's got a mantelpiece, a fireplace. There are a line of seemingly random assorted knickknacks laid out on the mantelpiece. There, you see a green glass bottle. You see a broken shell. You see a sewing kit. You see what you identify as one of the metallic clasps from the case to the violin that you gave her. And you also see draped like across the top and sides of like the opening to the fireplace, you see that rainbow scarf that Nimue left for Willow the last time. And Una kind of like leads you up in there, and she says, "There's some sort of mechanism between the mantelpiece and the corner here. I've seen her come through it, sort of a switchback opening in the wall, but I've never been able to find the mechanism that opens it. Not that I've tried that hard. Willow is delicate. I always had hoped that when she was ready, she'd bring me to see this world that she talks about inside the walls of this manor."
Alright, first, before I try entranceway, I'm gonna, look around the room and say to Una, loudly, "Oh, look at all the fine treasures in here. Somebody left them unguarded. I guess we're just gonna have to take them, unless somebody comes out here and tells us not to.
Okay. You say that.
Look at all the free stuff."
Make an insight check.
Okay. $15.
You see that as you kind of do that, Una goes like, she doesn't say anything, but she like, you see in her face that she's like, don't, She's quiet. And from like in the walls or anything like that, you don't hear anything.
I'll look to Una for.
She kind of moves.
I made no move to take anything. I
Sure.
just loudly said that.
She sort of moves, closer to you, and she crouches down low enough that she's is able to sort of whisper close enough to your ear that only you can hear. And she says, she's very delicate. She shakes her head. She says, "Any personal questions about her past, who she is, about her treasures, her whole world, anything directed at her?" She shakes her head. She says, "I've made the mistakes enough times, posing the wrong question, pushing a little too much. She flees, and she's gone months before she reappears again." She says, don't insinuate that you're going to fool with any of her." She gestures towards the arrangement at the banister. She says, "It's very important to her, this arrangement that she's got. I don't know what the purpose is. I can never bloody understand whatever meaning it is, but to her, it means something. She says, don't. The response is always the same. If you push, if you say the wrong thing, ask the wrong question, she runs. Every time.
After hearing this, Murderbird will then pause for a moment and then, in the same loud tone of voice, upon further inspection, this looks like a fine collection of items that someone has purposefully arranged, and we're gonna leave them right here. However, I sure wish there was somebody here to help us eat this really big cake. Man, it would be great. We have so much cake. We're not gonna be able to eat all this cake. It's so good. And he's like, rah, 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 rah. It's this delicious cake.
Phyxis, you are down below, where you found the what you believed to be a grate that led somehow like outside or to the cliff face or something like that, right? You kind
So
of
on my way down the stairs as well, I'd like to cast thaumaturgy to make like the sound of like a little like gentle music box playing in the air.
Okay.
And I'm just kind of calling out gently, just Willow, Willow, just like looking left and right and just calling out, just anywhere.
You get back down. You get down into this to this like cellar down here where this grate to be, and you're kind of playing this music. You're gonna walk around calling out Willow, and after a spell, you hear, and you're not really able to like identify the source or the direction of this, but you hear, oh, you're back.
Yeah, we came to see you. How are you doing?
Oh, pretty good.
That's good.
She says, there was a family of hedgehogs in Thrush. They had babies.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you name them?
No. I'm not their mother.
That's sweet.
They're really cute, but I know... Well, I know that the hedgehogs come before the bad day. So... it's a little sad.
The bad day?
Oh, yeah. First the hedgehogs, then you come back, and you try to tell me to come with you, and then the bad day comes.
How do you know all this, Willow?
I don't think I'm supposed to say. I don't think I'm supposed to know, but but I do. So
I mean, I've got a lot of time. I mean, you could tell me. I might know a little bit too. See, I can do some things too. And I'm willing to share some of those things with you, if you're willing to share some things with me.
Well, Droplet isn't that specific. I only know the general stuff, so I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you things or not, but I suppose it can't hurt.
My captain, he really wanted to see you too. Is it okay if he comes and sees you?
I don't think he's supposed to this time.
Really?
Well, Droplet said that I talked to you, and then you have to go away. And then the bad day happens, but once that's over, it's mostly the same as it always is. And then a while later, we see each other again, and that's when I see your captain again. I don't think it's now.
In the droplet doesn't tell you to come with us if we offer for you to come.
She says, "Oh no, that I definitely know. Every time you ask me to come with you, well, it's not always you. Sometimes it's Miss Una. Sometimes it's Miss Nimue. Sometimes it's the lady with the hair like fire. Sometimes it's different, but it's always the same. You want me to come with you, but I can't. I have to stay here. I have to be here to let you into the sending cave when the time comes."
The sending cave?
Mm-hmm.
What I'm very unclear on what you mean by a sending cave. What is a sending cave?
You get silence for like a long while at that question.
It's okay if you don't know how to describe all of it. I mean, there's a lot of things that I don't know about myself that I can't describe. I wish I could, and I'm still trying to figure it out.
After a while, Willow from wherever she is, and as you're kind of having this conversation, the source of her voice seems to be like moving around. Like you can't pinpoint where it's coming from.
Yeah, I just imagine it's like darkness like all around
Yeah,
me,
it's, like,
and I'm just like
echoing from,
talking
like,
to the
within
air.
walls.
It's
Yeah.
like-
Eventually she says, She says, Do you know the story of the people that came before?
What people are you referring to?
The people that built everything. Well, not everything. Stuff has been built since. But
You mean this manor?
no. No. The people before them. The people before the people before them. Sometimes I get confused. It just it made me think when you said that there are things you don't know about yourself. There's a lot of that. There's a lot that I think everybody doesn't know about everything. If the whole world can get on okay, not knowing about where they come from or what came before, then Well, I don't see why you can't, Mr. Thixis.
You know, I never really thought of it that way. Thank you, Willow.
You don't get any response to that, but after a while, she says, "Okay, I'm supposed to go now. But..."
Are you going to be safe, Willow?
She says, "Oh, yes." She says, "Usually that helps things. In the ones where I make sure you know that I'm okay and I'll be here when you come back. That's better. That's better than the ones where I don't convince you and you stay too long. It's not good if you stay too long."
Right. Is there... Did the droplet let you know whenever I leave this conversation, when I try to tell my captain what has happened, that I make sure that I survive that conversation? Because I don't think he's going to believe me.
That's silly. I like the ones where he pretends to be mean.
So you've seen through his image as well.
Yeah. He's a nice man.
Hey, listen, Willow. Let's just keep this one between us.
Oh, well,
I think it'll be hilarious.
I like secrets, but somebody else already knows. She says, "Miss Una already knows."
No, that's true. I'm sure there's probably others too.
She says, "Sometimes, usually when you come back, you guys already know. He has to pretend for a while longer. He's not ready yet."
Willow, when we come back, is there anything that we need to bring with us?
She says, "Thing? No, but usually you have them with you when you come back. I'm sure you'll have them. It'll be fine."
Yeah, we definitely need them.
Mm-hmm.
We are definitely not whole without them.
They're the only one who can use the sending cave, but they're always here when you come back. It'll be fine.
All right. Well, be careful, Willow. Be safe.
He says, "Okay, you too."
I just kind of look around for a moment.
Yeah, and like right as you're about to leave, you kind of like you sort of like think like, all right, the conversation's over. You hear like, "Mr. Thixis?"
Yes, Willow.
I'm not usually supposed to tell you this, but when Rowan sees him again, don't let her chase him the first time.
Okay. Okay. I will do that, Willow. Thank you. What prevents you from being able to tell me this?
You get no further response from within the walls.
I look around for a minute. Willow? Willow?
seems that she is gone.
I like slowly take 2 backward steps up the step, then spin around quickly and charge up the steps towards Captain. Captain, Captain.
Yeah, what?
I think we're supposed to go.
What do you mean we're supposed to go? We just got here.
But, okay, so I went down into the basement and the walls started talking to me. And it was the willow.
Okay.
And there's a lot to unpack here, Captain. I don't even really know where to begin, but maybe we can walk and talk, cause there's a lot of stuff.
So, we're just gonna leave, and we're gonna leave the girl here.
She said that she would be safe. And she said she would see us again when we come back later.
How did she
No.
say she knew she'd be safe?
See, that's the difficult thing. She kept on mentioning this. I think it was droplets. The droplets say.
The droplet. All right. She holds up hands. She says, if she says that Droplet told her these things, then it's all right. She kind of like looks between the two of you. Just, I can see that I need to explain this further.
You're just like staring at her.
Yeah. Who in crikey fuck is Droplet?
I don't know if it's who or if it's what. Sometimes she talks about it like it's a person or bloody fucking imaginary friend.
It just seems like she has the ability to like see into the future.
Sometimes she talks about it like it's a place, like it's one of the parts of whatever this network of interior caverns and passageways and whatever the fuck is beneath this manor is. I don't know what Droplet is, but I do know that whenever she talks about it, it's always as if it or they or whatever it is telling her things about the future. And in the years that I've been living on this island and I've been talking to her, it's almost never been wrong. Bizarre, sure. Roundabout, definitely. But if she says that Droplet told her that she stays here and we go, bollocks. I don't know that there's much we're going to be able to do to find her.
Look, I'm sorry, Captain. I tried to keep her talking as much as I could.
Even though it doesn't make a lick of sense, for some reason I believe you. But we're gonna leave a little girl who may or may not speak to Droplets alone on an island that's about to be invaded by the Empire. And hold on, he'll.
Oh, here we go. He's got something.
Unsheath and leave at her mantle.
How long have you had a cutlass just like within arm's reach? of you?
Literally the whole time. Literally the whole time.
Okay, good. Yep.
Leave my present too.
wasn't within arm's reach. I had to get up and walk over there.
Is
And I'll leave
Captain
the- yeah,
tall
I'll
enough
leave
tall enough to
Nimwe's-
get to the mantle?
I'll leave Nimwe's thing.
I think so because she's been putting a lot of her trinkets on
All
the
right, yeah,
mantle.
she's. I
Yeah,
didn't know if there was
that's
like a little
her
step
collection
stool
spot.
there that
She probably
had to be
does.
like pulled up.
Okay, yeah, you place the sword on the mantle. No problem.
Now, do we get the impression that Una is leaving too?
Make an insight check.
Okay. Yeah, not the greatest.
Wait, where are you leaving? Where are you leaving the pendant?
I'll leave it on the mantle with the other stuff.
Okay.
That's a 5.
A 5. You get the impression that Una is in the room with you.
Oh, Una, I'm sorry. I almost forgot you were standing there.
Been having a conversation for like 5 minutes. Never
I
mind.
know. Sometimes I just get really lost in my thoughts.
I'm fairly
First-
certain, mate. I'm fairly certain that your pants are cutting off circulation to your head. You need to go like at least a size up.
You know what? You're probably right. You know what? I did pick up some clothing that's from Naporia as well, so I might just go ahead and do a culture clothing change here.
Yeah,
I think it'll really be good. I mean, I'm talking to walls. I'm hearing things about the future. Yeah, it's just been a really long couple of days.
Yeah, that might be for the best. Also, I'm not cutting you out of those pants. That's not happening. We're not there. You figure out how to get those off on your own. You've been wearing those for like a month and a half and done nothing but sweat into them. I can't even imagine. They're probably glued onto you at this point.
We might need to find a cleric for that one.
Okay, real funny. Let's start walking, okay? Squeak, 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 squeak.
You sort of like head out as you guys descend to the first level and like Thixus, you kind of exit. Una reaches down, puts a hand on your shoulder, Macbeth. And she said, Master Thixus, we'll catch up with you in just a moment. I need to have a word with my father, right quick.
Oh, sure. I'll just I'll be outside.
She nods. And once Thixus exits in the main foyer of this building, she kind of looks she looks down at you, and she goes like, so the out and out pirate element is making their flight from the island, aye? That'll leave whatever normal folk, shopkeeps, things like that, to stay behind and take their chances with new ownership, as it were. She looks back up to where you guys were trying to convince Willow to come out, and she says, you know I've got to stay on the island, right, Dad?
And if I thought that you were raised by somebody else, I would think that there was a chance of talking you out of it. But you weren't.
No, I did in fact learn from what, by my reckoning, is in fact the largest, most thick-skulled, #1 expert in the 5 kingdoms on being a bloody stubborn bastard and sticking
right.
up for someone what you care for, even if it means the worst for you. I know we don't talk about it a lot. We're not really a feelings type of family. Never have been, but you gave up everything for me. Your crew, your ship. Your own brother, Banquo. You've given me so much, and I've never been able to give back to you, but I've at least learned from you that it don't matter if someone is blood or not. If you've taken them to be your own, then you stick with them and you protect them. So I'm sorry for everything I've cost you, Father, and I'm hoping you can forgive me for staying behind here. I'm only doing what you told me.
I certainly a man who has made a lot of mistakes in his life, but if there's anything in this life that I've had that has been the right move, it was you. And if I could go back and do it again, I'd choose the same thing over again. Every time.
I think I'm gonna stay here a mo, and I don't know if she's listening or not, but I want to make sure Willa knows that I'm still gonna be here to come and talk to her and make sure she's got a balanced diet, it's not eating rats or whatever she's finding down there. In case I don't see you off before you go tomorrow with the others. For however brief it was, I lived on the Harlot's Fury. I knew those men, I knew Banquo. And I've seen your new crew. I know that you want your revenge, and I'll not deny you that, but I know a part of you is still trying to find what you lost. The Harlot's Fury, the crew, the life you thought you knew, but Father, they mutinied. They left you for dead on an island. And finding that ship, finding that crew, killing your brother. It'll probably make you feel better. At least. But it's not gonna bring back what you're trying to find. Those people on your ship. Aye, bollocks. Just stop being such a bastard to the one with the pants, eh? Think about it. When the chips are down, I think they've got your back to the end. Think about what you want.
Murderbeard is going to hug her and kiss her on the forehead and then leave without another word.
Okay.
I will go downstairs to find... Thyxus is waiting outside, right?
Yeah, just off the front porch area.
I'll come up to Thyxus, and after a moment, I grab Thyxus by the shirt, I pull him in, and I'm going to hug Thyxus. And I say,
Lexus would probably be like
man.
this at first before you say anything, and then start to wrap his arms around.
You're a good man, Thyxus. And after a moment, I lean in real close to his ear and go, and if you tell anybody about this, I will deny it. And I let go and I walk away.
I will stand there and watch him walk for a moment, and then look up at Una with this very shocked expression on my face.
You just catch sort of the wisp of blue hair as she sort of disappears back deeper into the house.
While Captain's kind of walking away, I just Thyxus would probably just stare at the house for just one more moment, just be like, "We'll be back soon, Willow," and then just start walking behind Captain.
Okay. As you guys, head down the hill, away from the manor, you can just kind of you hear from somewhere within, a tune. You hear Una kind of quietly singing it, and you recognize the tune as it is the ballad or the lullaby or whatever it is that Murderbeard sort of plucked out for Willow when he left that
Lullaby of the Bells.
The Lullaby of the Bells. You kind of you hear the familiar tune of that, and there seem to be words to it, as you guys can kind of hear somewhere from up the up within the manor. You hear Willow not Willow. You hear Una's just sort of into the quietness. You sort of hear we will go home, we will go home, we will go home across the mountains. We will go home, we will go home, we will go home across the mountains. And you continue on your way down the hill. And with that, I think we will jump back to the following morning as we hard tone shift now to a very aggressive orc facing off against Nimue.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Nimue.
Oh boy.
We return to you, and the snarling visage of the hang on, let me switch my notes back over now that we've shifted locations again. There it is. The snarling visage of Gugnach is looking at you and ready to rumble. Go ahead and roll me some initiative. Initiative.
Oh god. Not great. 10.
10.
Mm-hmm. Wait, let me just double check something. Do I do it? Nah, that's it. It's a 10.
Okay. Gugnak is going to make the first move. You guys circle each other for a brief moment. And one of the other orcs, Rowan, to your left, Varagog, goes like, in sort of like a like chant of like yeah sort of aggression, and Nimue, as you like kind of like draw your attention to see like is that an issue, Gugnak takes that moment and charges towards you, sprinting in your direction, and he is going to he basically tries to just like bulldoze you. He like throws his shoulders down, and he's going to attempt to essentially like grapple you and slam you down on the ground with his full weight on top of you. So he is going to attempt to grapple you.
Okay.
So I need a strength check.
My strength is not good. Oh god. Nimue, you're a Dexy fighter, not a strong one. Yeah. I rolled a 3 minus 1.
He charges into you. You go to like swirl out of the way, but he just like his arm span is so large that like you like try to dodge around him, and he just like wraps you up, pulls you in, kind of like straightens himself so that you're sort of like your hip is at his shoulder. Sort of,
I don't suppose I could acrobatics my way instead of strong arming to dodge?
Actually, let me see.
Because that would be a lot different. Well, not really. I rolled a 3. Never mind. Keep going.
You did roll.
Ignore
He's got you either way. He rolled quite high.
Yeah, he's got me either way. It's either a 7 or a 2. So.
No, he has a 19 on his
yeah. All right. All right.
Let me just double check grappling real quick to see the.
It might just be strength. I could be wrong.
Special attack.
To resist a grapple, you can acrobatics out, but if you rolled a 3, then you probably couldn't.
No, yeah. So if I want to try and get out, is it still strength? Because he's already got me now?
So you actually theoretically could have rolled acrobatics against that. So the grapple check is an
that would have been a
attack
10.
athletics check contested by a strength or dexterity check against.
Okay, so it would have been a 10 or a 2 either way. Like a 10 is still would have failed.
So he grapples you, and he's gonna basically bull rush you as he just then.
Okay.
As he's got you like over one shoulder, he just like throws himself forward and like drives you into the ground with himself on top of you. You take 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
I am going to use my reaction to use a protective field on myself to soften the blow.
Okay.
So we'll see how much I reduce by. I reduced by 8! I take no damage!
Okay. So he like drives you down. All of your like markings in your eyes like poof, flare with psychic light, and this like pulse of energy sort of like projects out from behind you, so that instead of getting driven into the ground, you sort of like cushion into the ground and don't get slammed down. That is his turn. That will bring us Nimue to you.
Okay. Can I just attack him while grappled, but at disadvantage?
You can attack him. No, not even at disadvantage. You just, while you are grappled, I believe your speed is 0.
Speed is 0.
But that is the only, like, if you wanted to just
okay.
like, attack him, you're not affected by that.
Also, as a note, my superiority psychic die went down, so now it's a D6 instead of a D8 because I exploded too high.
Okay.
Like, I used too much energy, so now I've gone down. And if I roll a 1, then it goes back up.
Okay.
Attack 1 is a 18 to hit.
That hits.
That is 11 damage as I probably like pull the Naginata in front of me and kind of slice up his chest.
Okay.
And I will second attack. Oh, I don't think that hits. So that's another 2 plus 7. So that's 9. That doesn't hit, I don't think.
No, that is not going to hit.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna action surge yet. I'm gonna hold that. So yeah, that's my turn.
Okay.
I don't think I have a bonus action. That is my turn.
Alrighty. That is going to bring us to Gugnach as you kind of like slash up against him and then try to like kind of bring the Naginata. And he's like on you, so you're basically trying to like wield this long glaive weapon around. And
in between us, almost like sideways and like yeah.
So he is going to make an attack roll against you.
Okay.
And he is going to, where is it? He is going to roll to hit, so I'm going to do that first. Oh boy. So that's a natural 20.
Oh boy.
So he definitely hits.
I'm going to use a reaction to activate my protective field again, because this is going to hurt.
What he is going to do... What the hell? So you need to make another... you need to make another strength or acrobatics check against him real quick.
What am I doing? Acrobatics?
Yeah, so what he does is, instead of like... basically, as you guys are like grappling on the ground, he sort of like pushes you down into the ground, pushes himself up, and then he like sort of drives a hand down like center mass where you're defending yourself with your Naginata.
Oh shit, okay. Yeah, it's a 22.
A 22. Alright, he's gonna make a contesting strength roll. He only gets it's only a 2 on the dice. He like boom, slams you into the ground, reaches back, drives his hand down, and he like grabs... He gets like part of your hand and part of the haft of the Naginata, and he tries to like rip the Naginata out of your hand.
Oh!
And he like yanks back on it, and you feel like for a moment you feel your shoulder pull like fully out of its socket.
That's gonna hurt tomorrow.
But he loses his grip, and his hand like slips off the Naginata, off the haft of the weapon, and you keep your grip on it, and your arm like very painfully like cracks back into the socket, but you maintain hold of your weapon. He is not able to disarm you. That is his turn. That's going to bring us to you.
This bitch. Yeah, I'm gonna hit him 2 more times.
All right, roll the hit.
That's a natural 17 plus 7.
That hits.
Is 16 points of damage.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm still not gonna do it. I'm gonna hold back. And I will hit him again. 13 to hit?
A 13. Yes, a 13 will hit.
Oh shit, okay.
13 just hits.
Oh, okay, noted. That is a 10 points of damage.
Alrighty. So this is not pretty, this combat. This is just a lot of like rolling around on the ground and like sort of just like clubbing the blade of the naginata into him as best you can, as he's too close really for you to like wield
Yeah,
it
I
in
can't
any
do
effective
form.
sense. And he continues to just like take these hits, but like you can tell he is, and he like grits his teeth each time you hit him, but he is
In Orcish, I say, let go.
he is intent. Like you can tell he's sort of sized you up, and he can tell that
I'm not strong.
like he's closed, like he's inside your maximum effective range, and like he does
Yeah.
not want to let you out of that.
Yeah, valid.
So he is going to make another attack against you to try and take the naginata from you. So I need another strength or dex based check.
Okay. That is another 22, but I'm going to use my side boosted ability to give myself a little bit of a buffer.
Okay.
Oh my god, this sucks. Okay, it exploded again. Like, it's good. It's a +6, so 22 plus 6 is 28.
Okay.
But that means I go down to a d4.
Okay. So again, he gets both hands on the naginata this time, pulls it up, and you feel like your fingers slip off, and he fully pulls the naginata out of your hands. And as he's like drawing it away from you, you reach out and you harness your power from within.
I
And
glow blue, and I just
you like grab it, and it like Kratos throwing the axe in God of War, it like comes back into your hands. And he's still got the naginata, but instead of like pulling it and wielding it around on you, it just goes like and slams back into your hands as you maintain your hold on it.
You wanted to fight a lunar warrior, so I'm gonna cheat.
As this like snaps back into your hands, you see that Gugnak is like, yes. And it is your turn.
Oh, damn. Okay. I'm gonna try and get out of this grapple. I want to try and get him off of me and be able to get onto my feet.
You can use your action to attempt to break the grapple by making a
Yeah, I will
contesting
try to break
strength
that.
or dex check.
Okay. I'm gonna have to do this again and hope. Okay. 21. I'm gonna use another boosted and hope I don't explode. Okay, cool. Love that. It exploded. So that's 21, 25, and I can replenish this, but I think. Wait, good question. Let me check. As a bonus action, I can replenish. I got a D8 back.
Okay.
Oh, I can only do that once, though. I can only do that once.
So there's a lot of like
No, I
very
can do
fast kung fu, like pa, 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 as you guys like whap at each other, and eventually you get your arm inside his elbow, and you just like drive an extended set of fingers like right into the soft spot in his elbow, and instead of like trying to overpower him, you just like hit a joint and like collapse the joint of his elbow with the precision.
I Xena Warrior Princess's ass is what you're telling me.
Boom, and it breaks his grip, and you manage to like kind of like slap roll your way out from under him and get your footing under you and break free of his grapple.
Going to use an action surge now that I have some distance. Oh, good. Here we go. 17 to hit.
17 hits.
12 damage. Question for you: is an
Yep.
action surge mean I hit twice because I have two hits per action?
Your action surge will allow you to attack twice because you have 2 attacks per attack action. Yes.
That's a natural 16.
Also hits.
Is 14 damage.
Okay.
No, 15 damage.
15.
I can math. Yeah.
Okay.
Plus 8. 7. Yeah, 7 plus 8.
Alrighty. You slash into him twice as you kind of put some distance between you. and you kind of like cut into his upper thigh, and then like whip it back around and catch him in like the side of the face, and like across his cheek, and he like lashes forward. He turns back, and you see that like as you were dragging the naginata blade across his face, it also like nicked one of his tusks. So there's like a nick in his like in his tusk, and he just goes like.
I get into stance, and I just hope he doesn't bum rush me again.
He definitely does. He immediately bum rushes you again. He is going to attempt to grapple you again.
Natural 18 plus 7.
That is enough. You are able to evade him. He comes running in. He spreads his arms wide. Where you kind of like tried to go around him and found his wingspan caught you off guard. This time you like go under, and he's not quick enough to like get at you. And he is going to finish his move by backing up by about 15 additional feet. You guys sort of like pass each other, and he keeps going, and then like whirls back around and takes a stance.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna just get back and swing around with like a large sweep of my naginata this time to try and get him backing up.
Okay, roll to hit.
19 to hit.
That hits.
13 damage.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pump it because I have my psychotic die back. He takes an additional 7 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
And the second hit was 10.
10, no. So you slash into him with the first one. The pulse of psionic energy runs down the naginata. You whip around to bring the second one. And he actually, instead of like you're trying to kind of like back him up, he actually steps forward and gets inside the reach of the naginata. And he is going to, he actually just is going to, he's going to use an ability.
Uh-oh.
What do we got here? He is going to. He's going to attempt to make a trip attack against you.
Rude.
So he's going to roll to hit. 19, I assume, hits.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And he will... he'll add a superiority die.
Oh!
Okay. Go ahead and make a strength saving throw. As what he does is he steps into your reach. He hauls back one arm and then drops down low and punches you in the side of the knee.
Natural 20 plus 2. I can't believe I just fucking did that!
And if she's also within 10 feet of me, she gets a +2 on a saving throw for
Oh,
me
so 24.
or a protection. If she's within 10 feet of me.
I don't.
Okay, so you take 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
Reaction! Absorbing!
Punches you directly in the side of your knee.
I take 3 points.
Okay, so you cushion the joint, keeping him from snapping your leg in half. And as he's trying to basically knock you sideways, he punches you between the psychic energy and your own dexterity. You manage to you end up sort of somersaulting almost over his fist. And you come back down on your feet, not being knocked prone. And he kind of turns back to you, goes and he just punches the ground in frustration. You can see he's starting to get annoyed that he can't. He's got your number. He knows get inside the reach of the Naginata,
Yeah.
overpower her. Like, that's, like, I have identified the weakness of the Lunar Warrior, and, like, somehow he's, like, it's just not working.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see, like, now he's starting to get angry.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It is your turn.
Cool. All right. Well, I smarted, so I will just try and hit him twice. That's what I do. Oh shit! Natural 18 plus 7.
That hits.
Ooh, nice. So that's 16 points of damage.
Woo, okay.
No, I'm gonna be nice. I'm not gonna pump it. I'm gonna hit again. Yeah, it's natural 13 to hit, so I'm assuming that hits.
Yes, 13 hits.
So that's... Damn. 15 damage.
Okay. You, like, lash around and you stab downward. You put the blade of the Naginata through his foot into the ground.
Ooh. As a note, going forward, because I feel like I've done a lot of damage to him, I'm trying to be non-lethal.
That's, yeah, sure. When that becomes an issue, well, you know.
Yeah, okay.
No problem. He goes like, as you, like, stab his foot.
Don't get close. We won't have this problem.
He is going to once more. He's going to attempt to rush in, and he is going to try and take your weapon from you. So a strength or a dexterity check against his.
Please. I'm good. I love this die. 18. I'm gonna psych. 18 plus 4. 22 plus 7. 29? 79? 29.
Okay. Once again, he gets a hand. Like, he's fast for, like, a huge orc. He gets the hand on the Naginata, and he pulls it fully out of your hands.
Oh,
Like,
shit.
He takes it from you. And you, like, once again, you call within, you, like, bring your power up, and you, like, grip onto the haft of that weapon and just, like, yank it back into your own hands and get it back from him.
Mm-hmm.
And he, like, in Orcish, he says, like,
Do you not tire?
No, I'm pretty good, man, and I still haven't used my healing abilities yet, so we can stop this.
he goes,
Oh, I just made him more mad. Oops.
and it is your turn.
Okay, here we go. Natural 2. I don't think that hits. On the first
No.
one. Doing a lot of. There's no in between. 17 to hit.
That does hit.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, so it's
As you
another
come in,
16.
he literally slaps the flat of the Naginata on the first attack. He, like, sidesteps it, like, whacks it aside. But you come up and, like, catch him, like, in the neck and under the jaw, like, with the backswing on it.
So 16 points of damage and 1 point of
Alrighty.
psychic damage, which means my thing goes up to a D10. So I rolled a 1.
Alrighty.
Where's my D10?
You slash at him. He kind of, like, staggers back, and he sort of steps away from you. And you can see he's getting a little, like, woozy on his feet here. He's tired himself out. Like, he's put everything he has into, like, pulling this goddamn weapon out of your hand, and you keep, like, psychic grabbing it back from him. So he begins
I'm trying to
like,
do this quickly.
he is beginning to tire. He is going to change tactics at this point, and
Yeah.
he is going to run for you, and he is simply going to make a pair of attacks with his bare fists.
Valid. Probably a lot easier to hit me than to try and grapple and steal shit from me.
A 16 and a 13, respectively.
The 16 will hit. That's my armor class. The 13 will not hit.
Alrighty. You take 7 points of bludgeoning damage as he just like punches he punches the haft of the naginata as you hold in a defensive stance, and just like the
how much
weapon
points?
Just goes back 7.
7. I've reduced by 8.
Nice. So the naginata slams the blade, the haft of it into your own chest, but you sort of just psychically shield. And it is your turn.
Natural 17 plus 7 to hit. Oh shit! 16 points of damage for the first one.
Okay.
13 to hit. 6 plus 7 to hit.
That hits.
16 points of damage.
You, he overextends himself, trying to trying to break your sternum by punching you so hard. He leaves himself open, and you sort of whirl around. You bring the naginata up. You roll it around his outstretched forearm to readjust your grip, and then just in quick succession, just jab, hit him twice in the torso. And he staggers and falls, and hits kind of falls down to sort of one knee, and puts one one hand on the ground to steady himself. And he looks up at you and he's
in Orcish, I say, I'm holding back.
And he just goes, and he turns his chin up and shows you his throat. And go ahead and make an insight check.
I know what he probably wants. He wants me to kill him. That's a 15 insight.
The insight check actually gives you information about the other orcs watching.
Oh, okay.
They kind of collectively kind of settle back. You take from context clues, you kind of take that to be he is it is a sign of surrender.
Mm.
The orcs react as if that's it. He's done. He lost.
Mm-hmm.
He's submitted. Mm-hmm. Whether that is an indication of he wants you to kill him, or he's surrendering with a 15, you're not sure.
Okay.
But you do glean from the other orcs that they have all
backed off.
Kind of their body language says fight's over.
Yeah. I'm just gonna put my foot on his chest and I say give in Orcish.
He doesn't do anything further. He just sort of
all right, well then
puts his he does drop his head down, but you see he's not looking to fight.
All right, I walk away. I put my naginata away and walk back towards the girls and kind of look over the orcs, and then Orcish say, "Are you guys coming now?"
Macrawl steps to the forward, to the fore of the group, and moves towards where Gugnach is down. He kind of he sort of falls forward and kind of is got his hands planted in front of him. He's kind of recovers and is out of breath. He turns towards the group of orcs, as he says,
I told you, did I not? We would follow these ones. They have done a service to us, and it is on our honor to assist them until we can get home to our village.
He points to Gugnock on the ground. He says,
Some of you were overly concerned with personal glory. Know this. Even if you fell the strongest foe in these lands, if you do it at the cost of your tribe, your people, you are nothing!
and he looks at the others and he says,
Now, you will follow your chieftain, or you will suffer the same fate of an honorless Muruk!
and he turns and lifts his foot and stomps the back of Gugnock's neck and like fully stomps him into the ground.
Like dead? Like snapped his neck
He
dead? Or like
stomps the back of his neck into the ground, and Gugnock is like, and he lifts his foot to do it a second time, and I will give any of you a chance to like react if you want to.
I would step in.
Okay, make a. You're gonna have to make a contesting strength roll against him in that case.
I will do that, and I will also at the same time give the Gugnock a protected field.
Okay.
At the same time.
So Mokral is gonna roll with advantage because Gugnock
Of course.
is prone.
Is it like a strength check or saving throw?
You are going to make a strength check contesting Mokral to see if you can like. You can describe to me how you want to like try and prevent him from.
I'm literally getting in front of him, like straddling the guy on the floor. So if he hits me instead, that's kind of what I'm looking for. But if he still manages to hit him, because I rolled a natural 18 minus 1, so it's a 17. But if he still manages to push me away because I'm not strong, I will throw out a protective field.
Okay, so you basically throw yourself onto Mokral.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like... It's sort of like a way smaller person who doesn't weigh as much jumping onto a way huger person who weighs way more. As you full body like hit him and like wrap around him, and he just like is in the process of like stomping the back of this guy's head despite you being on him. So you can throw that protective field on him, which does that add to his AC or reduce his damage?
It reduces damage.
Okay. So he does hit him. And
reduces by 8.
Reduces by 8. So he stomps the base of Gugnock's spine like a second time. Your protective psychic barrier sort of like wraps the neck. He does. He would have done the 1 damage required to kill Gugnock, but with your reduction by 8, it prevents him from physically damaging him the second time. So he stomps down and does not manage to kill the other orc. And he kind of like straightens up. You're literally like... You're like hanging onto his torso, basically. As he like straightens back up and is not moving at this point.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I say in Orcish for all the orcs to hear. We need all the help we can get against those Ignians. I need him to be honor-bound for a little while longer.
Make an insight check.
14.
The other orcs, you can tell they register what you've said. They don't really look at you, though. They look at Mokral, which is not much of a difference. It's the shifting of gaze about 4 inches from where your head is, like at his chest, to where he is. But with that 14, you're like clinging to him, and you kind of like glance up, and he looks down, and you see his pupils begin to go and start to like contract again.
Uh-oh.
In something you have seen him do this before.
Yeah.
You saw he did this when you fought him in the in the slave pits. You saw Kenna have a similar thing happen. As this starts to happen, another orc, one of the orcs, the same orc that called out to him before in the slave pits, Korkug,
Okay.
yells out a word that is in Orcish that doesn't have a direct translation, so you're not sure what it means.
Okay.
But he like freezes for a moment, and his eyes slowly return to normal.
Oh,
And as they do, he like
Yes. I will slowly let go of him as I see him take a breath.
as you like put your feet back on the ground and step back, he says to you very quietly, like just between the two of you, he says,
You request of me the life of this orc.
Mentally, so the others don't hear. I would prefer if he stayed alive a little while longer. If I'm not going to step on your culture and your boundaries, they are yours. They are not mine. But for a little while longer, I need him against the Ignians to protect my home, much like you want to protect yours. What you do after, I will respect.
he says,
He has defied his chieftain,
I agree.
picked a battle of honor and lost.
I
By
agree.
our rights, his life is forfeit. But if you request it of me, I will grant it.
Temporarily. Yeah?
he shakes his head. He says,
That is not our way.
All right.
You make this request. Understand. His life is yours. Forever. He
Then I will
dies
put
now
him-
with what is remaining of his honor. For he is no longer of the long tooth. He is yours.
and Gugnak goes like on the ground.
There's a moment of silence between our minds, and then she says, Then I will make good use of what little life he has left.
McCrawl nods to you. Between in your like psychic link, he says,
The blood fury afflicts me. I was reminded once again that I am more than my people's curse. I will honor this request.
and he turns and out loud he says to the other orcs, he says,
The Napoleon has claimed champion's right.
Oh?
Gugnak is hereby banished. His life is hers.
the other orcs, who didn't just destroy their throat
Oh, honey.
doing this, the other orcs kind of like shake their heads, and in unison, all of them turn and put their backs directly to Gugnak on the ground.
Yep.
And McCrawl says,
You're preparing to leave then.
We are. As soon as we're all good.
He nods, gives the order to the other orcs, and they head for the ship.
I will grab Golgnak and by like the back of his collar and get him on his feet.
I'll walk up now that the issues have passed. And I'm only gonna do a little bit because I think he needs to suffer
A little bit. Yeah. Valid.
So I'm just gonna put a hand on him to kind of like help support him as we get him to the ship, and as I do, I'll give him 10 points back.
Okay.
Just because he's had a rough.
You heal him enough that he can stand again.
Exactly. That's what I wanted.
And
Like
he is able to like
Move on his own.
He moves on his own. His eyes are downcast. He is pretty much unresponsive to any type of like conversation or anything like that. But he will almost like meekly go to the ship as directed at this point. So
Let's go.
as you guys kind of like board and prepare to leave, Nimble, your father sort of like comes up to see you guys off, and he's like,
It's just a bruise. Look, 3 points damage. It's not that bad. I'm fine.
he says, I will never understand the life that you have chosen for yourself. He gestures, he says, you travel with orcs, with... that one is your butler? No, I don't... He shakes his head and he says,
He would have been yours if you, or you just would have killed him. He wanted to fight you.
He kind of nods, he says, you're correct. I would have killed him.
Yeah.
He says, though the intricacies of your interpersonal relationships elude my old-fashioned mentality, I at least recognize a master at their craft when I see one. You have done proud by my training.
Okay, Oto-san, you can't just say shit like that and not expect to be publicly hugged. I'm going to hug him.
You hug him, and he like...
Yeah. You did this to yourself.
I am deeply embarrassed by this.
I love you. Thank you for saying that.
And
Thank you.
be safe. Do not die among a bunch of pirates and orcs.
I'll be fine.
And he sends you guys on your way. So,
Hey, did you see that chat gave you an add your proficiency bonus?
Oh, thank you.
she hugged her dad extra good.
Yeah.
So the three of you board the vessel. On the dock, Nimue, your father, Aora Veshta, as well as a couple of the other civilians that are like staying here on Naporia and kind of like are seeing you off. As you sort of like loose the ropes and begin to weigh anchor and make way. And as you pull away from the dock, your father calls it. He says, wait. I told you must rechristen your ship.
Oh, shit.
What will you call it?
Remind me again what we decided.
I think we should call it Don't Try Us, but it's spelled T-R-I. I really think
Don't
we should
Try
do
Us.
it. Because the girl group can be Trinity Riot.
And then
Yeah.
don't try us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
Don't try us.
It's called Don't Try Us. Get it? Like try, like three, because it's our third ship.
You guys are yelling this at increasingly loud distances as like the ship like rolls away. It's like TRI, try, get it, try.
Get it? It's a
I'm just quietly laughing as I.
Third chip.
Ray is like,
I'm doing what Ray's doing, but I'm on the ship.
and you guys kind of sail away. Ray sort of like lifts a hand in farewell and turns. And maybe like 15 seconds later, McCrawl is like,
Yeah.
Try.
I'll translate it in Orcish so the other guys can laugh too. You get it, buddy?
you translate it in Orcish. The other orcs are like, and McCrawl goes,
It's funny.
and they all go like, So as you guys sail off, we return to Glassau in the morning as the Grimm's Folly makes way. Macbeth, Thixus, you guys are on the dock, weighing anchor and making way. Beside you, the other captains are similarly shoving off. Captain Thorn and the Shrike, Captain Dash Through Rain on the Spinning Leaf, Hooper, Sea Dog Barton, and the Gilia, and Captain Vito Ridley of the Arrowhead, all preparing to make anchor. From the docks, Gareth Blackwell gives you guys a stiff salute as behind him the pirate port is in the process of being disassembled, and everything that isn't nailed down that can be taken without leaving the inhabitants of the island who are staying behind without enough infrastructure and food and things to keep themselves operating after the pirates have gone, is being plied up, packed up, and put onto the series of barges and other various vessels that Blackwell has at his disposal as the pirates attempt to prepare to make flight into the vast openness of the ocean. The Grimm's Folly and the pirate fleet set out heading north, while the Trinity Riot on the Don't Try Us head southeast, making their way all towards a small, unmarked island upon which an Ignian battle group and potentially Captain Charles Frederick and his crew, their fate lies in the balance. It will be about a 2.5 day journey for each of you from where you are to this location, and then we will see what fate has in store for us. But for tonight, we will bid you all adieu and call an end to tonight's session. So, let me
Hell
pull
yeah.
up. I have a bit in chat.
GG.
Good game, everybody. So that's it for tonight's episode of Delve Requisite. Make sure to join us next week for another episode. Same bat time, same bat channel, right here on Proficiency Bonus, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesdays. Next week we'll be back with the Fool's Errand, the other portion of our campaign, as they're in the middle of fighting some kind of a sewer monster. And one party member has just been grabbed and pulled down to the depths, and is in dire straits as they attempt to make their way to the king, as he is under siege by an invading force of Ignian Imperial stormtroopers, essentially. So be sure to tune in for that, and then the week after that we'll be back here, Delve Requisite, as we see the two halves of the group reunite and fight some Ignian boats. Any other announcements we have to make in general about the channel?
Tomorrow will not be a Waterdeep. It'll be a Vigil instead. We're switching up the week this week because there's some issues going on with Chell's end with dogs just getting fixed, so they have to take care of the dog, so they can't DM. So we're gonna have Davik do a Vigil tomorrow.
Cool. already. So check that out. Stay tuned. We got Power Rangers has recently launched. Keep your eyeballs peeled for that. I'm gonna do this enough. Go find us on all of the various social medias: YouTube, Twitter. Do we have a Twitter? I don't know. YouTube.
Yeah, we have Twitter.
YouTube. Join our Discord. Find us. Follow our things. Make sure that you don't miss any of the stuff that we are putting out. There's all the links. Well, sort of. There's the links.
I went too fast. I went too fast.
Yeah, find us on Twitter.
Well, okay, that sounded like I got it the second time.
So that is everything we have tonight. Thank you for joining us as always. Thank you guys, my players, for another wonderful session. Rip to my vocal cords. But other than that, we, as always, will see you next Tuesday. Bye, everybody.
Bye.